Back in January of 2009, actually, right around the 1st of 2009, our son, Anderson, who's 3 now, was 16 months at that time, started having a distended stomach and became very lethargic. And at the time, they weren't sure if it was potential cancer or if it was some type of severe infection, or they really weren't sure. We met with the oncology department, an oncologist, and then he did diagnose about 2 days after we were in the hospital that Anderson had ALL leukemia. So we spent about 10 days in the hospital. We had quite a few people from our Sunday school class, from our church, from our family to come and bring us meals, just stay with Anderson so we could go home and take a shower. After spending those 10 days in the hospital, and throughout that time, we saw families that were there that had very little support. And it just dawned on us that God was kind of calling us to create a ministry that would support families who are going through pediatric cancer, to be able to provide some of these things that these folks from outside Birmingham don't have that they need when they come to clinic.
One of the big needs we saw early on was for housing. There's so many families outside of the Birmingham area that are driving.
They're from Dothan, they're from Gadsden, they're from Demopolis.
Some getting up at 4 in the morning to drive to Children's Hospital, and so we saw this need for housing.
And that's the reason we created the Home Away from Home program, so that we could put families up in a place here in Birmingham that doesn't cost them anything, has all the amenities that they would have and need at home.
And he said right then, he said, I want to make a ministry out of this and help people going through times of trouble. I'd like to choose you and your families our first. I have a home available for you right now. And I said, Andy, how am I going to pay for this? You know, what do I do? He says, that burden's off you. He said, you don't worry about that. And I said, Andy, this is unreal.
We really, truly felt the calling to go and create this ministry to support families, because we had just seen the need of being up on the floor and families being there for multiple days and not having other family members around, or not having a church family to come and help. So it was very easy for us to say, all right, here's how what we're going to do to be able to support those folks.
I think it was our first week when we were in the hospital. We received a visit from an aTeam member, and they came and they introduced themselves, told us what they were doing. They prayed with us, asked us if we need anything, and over the course of the next several months, when we were in and out of the hospital, an aTeam member visited us every time, and they provided meals for us. They provided prayer support.
Our hope is that we have multiple townhouses, multiple places within the Birmingham area for families to stay.
When you go to the house, you're pretty much catered to. You know, your primary focus is to focus on your child, make sure he is getting what he needs.
Having a place to stay in town or some place to take a shower, and a shower that's adult size and not kid size, these are all variables that you don't think about.
aTeam was gracious enough to ask if we wanted to stay in the house overnight, so we'd have the comfort level of being closer to the hospital, and it worked out perfectly.
We've realized that there's an opportunity, there's a mission for our family to support aTeam Ministries.
I think there are enough people that are willing to do whatever it takes to support an organization like that. I mean, obviously when you get involved with kids, it's very heart-wrenching, and you just want to help. If there's some way you can give back in life, this is a great way to do it.
Their service and their ministry is something that's very much needed in the hospital. And it's one thing to minister to ourselves and to be supportive to ourselves, but when you see outside individuals and outside groups coming in, being unselfish and coming in and giving of their time and their efforts and their money to minister to the needs of families who are in this situation, is really a big deal for anybody who has a sick child.
As a parent who's gone through this journey with my son, and we're continuing to go through it, I've experienced meeting a lot of different families, a lot of different patients, and I have developed just such a passion for wanting to create an organization like aTeam Ministries to make a difference. If aTeam can fulfill some of those needs to make that journey easier and provide help and hope for those families, and know that we have done what God has called us to do in serving others.